Before the walls of Athens, the fate of these civilizations will be met. Hey, how's it going? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to another Rome Total War online siege battle. Today we are diving in with a 3 vs 3 and I was guaranteed that this battle is amazing. You will not be able to tell who will claim victory until the very end. And I'm extremely excited to go ahead and see if that is true because we have multiple factions, really good players, a lot of infantry, siege towers ready to breach the walls, artillery flying in onto the hoplites, and plenty more. So let's go ahead and dive in. We'll take a quick look at a few of the factions that are being brought today, just because, there's, battle is just simply getting underway, and the Romans are bringing a bunch of these tortoises, whatever they're called, basically to bang down the walls. Not a bad strategy, honestly, because then you can just use your infantry just punch through them defensive positions. So obviously we have a army from the Romans. They are bringing heavy legionaries, veteran legionaries, armored legionaries, Praetorian guards, and all that lovely stuff. Supporting them in this battle, we do have a army from Syracuse. So the Hellenics are helping against their Hellenic brothers. Again, we can take a quick look at some of their heavy infantry right there. Looking very great indeed. And then finally supporting them, we do have an army from Epirus, as we do have the Carthaginian cavalry coming out to cause some havoc and mayhem. But yes, we do have a army from Epirus that have been moved out and put in here to, I guess, dominate the position here. Defending the settlement, we have an army from Athens, who obviously are going to be, equipped with a lot of their heavy hoplites and also their thorax hoplites as well. So the later period, we have the Messalese, I can't pronounce that well, but they're obviously the Carthaginian vassal, and then we finally do have the Carthaginians. So let's quickly go ahead and just dive in and get this bad boy started. We'll jump on board with some of the Carthaginian cavalry. I believe this is just the citizen cavalry, if my Rome 2 memory does serve me correct. But for the job that I guess they're trying to achieve, which is to harass the oncoming attackers, this will be pretty useful. I can't see any Epirus cavalry on its approach either, so it does seem like this cavalry is going to be able to engage the siege towers and slow up their formation. Again, still no cavalry. Oh, no, there's another unit of cavalry moving over there as well, so they're splitting up. Two's going into the siege tower to slow it up, and then the other one is going to go over here, but that's going to be met by the heavier Hellenic cavalry as they do now engage, as they throw in. This is the companion cavalry, so I imagine this companion cavalry is going to be better off than, say, the Carthaginian citizen cavalry. And they're going to try and pull through, but take heavy casualties as they try and quickly pursue these archers. Already some archers have been taken care of in this battle, but it does seem like a suicide mission for the citizen cavalry. However, the other two horses have now been dispatched from these siege towers after slowing them up a little bit, and they're going to be going over here once again to try and harass the position. They are in a very, very thin formation, but I guess this will, carve deep into the enemy formation. And they're going to go charging in onto the Hellenic cavalry once again, engaging their formation from the back with another unit coming in as well, looking just to cause as much mayhem as possible. A very, very good strategy, I think, when you are playing the defensive side. If you have the room and you have the resources, for sure throw this cavalry out, because they just cause so many issues for the attackers. They really, really do. And I'm going to have to turn down just some music a little bit, because it is extremely loud for me. Hopefully it's okay for you guys, but music is blurring. I mean, it's the Rome 1 music, so what's not to love about it? But even still, it seems like the Romans have managed to destroy the walls, and now they're going to be pushing in against Messalese. Oh God, I'm going to the Carthaginian client state is what I will call them, because apparently at 9 o'clock in the morning I can't pronounce names. But it seems like they've got their African legions, basically the desert cohorts, which are obviously very much inspired, much like the Egyptian variant or the Seleucid variant that they have access to. They're going to be throwing off their Pila. I wonder what their stats are like, because I was assuming this faction would get wiped away, but are their stats just the same? So 52, 35. They're kind of just like a worse... oh my God, they have like 20 more melee defense than the Romans. That's insane. Their armor's better than the Romans as well. Their health and morale's better as well. So the only thing they're really lacking in this battle is going to be that melee attack. But, the other stats definitely outweigh that. Well, the Praetorian Guard's obviously going to be another story, though. Yeah, the Praetorian Guards demolish these guys stat-wise. Well, that's actually insane. I didn't expect this faction to have as much hitting power as they do in these desert cohorts. And you've got more and more Romans just pouring through. The armored Numidian riders are causing some big issues. I imagine that I'm just going to call them Numidian now. It's pretty easier. Oh my god, the archer fire is raining arrows and Pelham. I imagine this faction, though, is a really strong one, because if you have the desert cohorts as your main infantry, and then you get access to the Numidian riders as well, like, it's going to be huge, right? You're going to have, you know, some of the best cavalry in the game, the Numidians, and you're going to have some decent infantry to hold the line. It's actually a very underrated faction. I think this is one of the first ones I've seen as another peeler throw goes off into the back of the Numidian skirmishers as they try and pull out of there, but can get engaged upon nonetheless. Syracuse has now also engaged, smashing down a decent part of the wall with their artillery piece. And you know, this is going to be a much more condensed fight, I think. There's not really a lot of room for maneuvering in the center of this battlefield. There's just kind of a small section of the wall, so it's going to be much more kind of condensed fighting. Whereas if you look at like the Roman side and the Epirot side of things, things are a lot more spread out. You've got infantry fighting all over the walls. It does actually look like that Epirus have managed to kind of quite convincingly secure this part of the wall. So getting your archers up here would be really important. You know, sitting your archers like here just to shoot down on the Athenian hoplites would be amazing. And yeah, you can actually see they have decided to completely give up the walls over on this right-hand side. The Romans haven't given the Numidians a chance to even do that, because they've just, you know, smashed through the walls rather than going over them. Also, let's take a quick look at this as well. Yeah, this is like the final last stand right here. It looks really cool. There's a handful of ways in. You've got archers covering a lot of the roads with some artillery pieces down. Even got some Numidian African elephants as well. But yeah, but for the most part, you're going to have like this last stand right here. And as I said, I was told that this battle is extremely close. So I only assume that they managed to make it to this final stand at some point in the battle. The discipline of the Romans, though, and their high numbers, is making heavy progress on this right-hand or this left-hand side. Right-hand side for the defenders. You know, just their quality and their power of arms, their numbers are breaking through the desert cohorts. Their counterparts, their doppelgangers. But they are making them pay for every single inch they do take. Well, they got cavalry through here now as well, which is very useful. It's going to speed up the time. Yeah, look at this. The desert cohort was even managing to break one of the... I mean, I guess these are just Scutarii, so it's not really that good. Or Socii, sorry, not Scutarii, they're Spanish. Yeah, they're breaking the Socii, but still, you know, not a bad feat right there. The Numidians done proud this day. Another thin line of engagement right here. Just popping off. So let's go again, take a look at the Syracuse side of things. It seems like they are struggling, and I mean, with this little room to maneuver, it's very difficult. Like, I feel like one of the only ways they can really break this without any help from the Romans or the Epirus armies is to get their archers on the walls, secure these choke points, and then get your archers on the wall, because I feel like you're very unlikely to break through this away. Oh, a nice little javelin throw coming off though from the thorax spears. They've got a pretty good view right there. You can see the Carthaginian pikemen, yeah. I thought the only way to truly break through this position is going to be to, yeah, get your archers up on the wall and just let them shoot down. You know, cover this, obviously, position with infantry, and then get your archers, like, here, just to shoot down. But then you're also really vulnerable to the Cretan archers, which are, you know, on the Carthaginian side. So I do not envy Syracuse in this battle whatsoever. They've definitely got the hardest job here. And we'll see if they are, you know, have the strength of will to break through and make progress. I'm sure the Romans will be rushing over to aid them in this battle. But still, definitely a hard push. Epirus have obviously not fought that much. You know, they've had a pretty easy time of it so far, besides that Carthaginian assault. They've managed to obviously secure the walls fairly nicely. And there's a little bit of fighting at the gate right there, but for the most part, it's been kind of a plain sailing for Epirus. And this is going to be their first real engagement right here against the Athenians. Yeah, it does seem like they are struggling up here, though. Some of the mercenary veteran hoplites are doing a very nice job up here. Getting a lot of decent kills. Yeah, pushing them off of the hill. I say that actually. It seems that the Athenians have actually managed to win this battle, so maybe I was completely mistaken. Epirus have brought up a lot of their archers here, which they are using to shoot in. They're kind of all, they could also very much be trapped if they're not careful. It does seem that the 4x spears are pulling through here, trying to get onto the marchers. Going to obviously be engaged by the royal peltists. It seems like they are very, very close. And they're just going to pull through, but obviously going to be taking a lot of casualties trying to do this. They're pulling through and trying to get onto these archers, bringing them down, because these archers are only 90 of them in a unit. The Athenians are continuing to come through, obviously they've lost about 20 men trying to do this. And now they're going to be trying to pursue the archers for Epirus. It would also be a very good idea if they were to spread out their army, you know, and just shoot these guys now, for example, would be very, very effective. Whilst they, you know, engaging one unit, have these archers turn around, blast a volley into their backs. Yeah, you can see they took basically 40 casualties from just that one pull through. They managed to get the job done, though. They managed to kill a unit of archers, so you could say it was definitely worth it. And now another unit of 4x spears, or yeah, 4x hoplites now broken through this gap that's been left, and this unit of royal peltists is going to be completely surrounded. More of the army, though, is being committed, and it seems like Epirus have kind of, you know, decided that this is where they're going to try and make their push through down the bottom right of the settlement. Over in the centre now, the Roman advance has pushed the Carthaginians back. A very, very solid move there by the defenders, seeing that the formation is lost. And oh my god, elephants going in! The Carthaginian general breaking in against the Praetorian guard, taking out quite a few of them. However, the elephants are going to be very vulnerable to peel them through, if there is any left. These elephants running amok, though, already taking this Praetorian guard down to 90 men. Very, very deadly stuff. And the morale is also very, very wounded. I love watching the elephants fight. They can just be so deadly sometimes. Especially if you kind of use them with a brain. If you just kind of keep an eye on what you're doing, you can definitely rack up some major damage with them. Some poor cavalry coming in, but that rider is going to be taken down. And the elephants are going to buy the Carthaginians enough time, basically just to fall back and get in this position. But the Romans have done a very admirable job of helping their allies. And that's going to allow the Syracuse army basically just to filter in the settlement. They were definitely struggling. So with the Roman support, they're going to be able to push through here. And again, the elephants are just causing mayhem. Up to 52 kills so far, so not that many. And they are now being the focus point of a lot of these archers, as these archers try and bring them down. These are the auxiliary Syrian archers. It seems like the elephants, instead of running away, are going to be trained in on this one position right now. Or are they going to pull back? I would pull back the elephants at this point. There's no point, you know, throwing them in. Fire arrows going in, taking down a few elephants, and they haven't gone berserk yet. They are the trained elephants. Are they African or are they Indian? They're African. But now they're out of control. So these elephants have, I guess, stayed in this engagement just a little bit too long. And now they're going to be taken down. Lambs to the slaughter. As the fire arrows bring them down. I really wish fire arrows, if they were going to be in the game, I really wish they were like the Shogun 2 style. Where you had a limited amount of them. So you actually had to kind of think about where you use them and stuff. I think that would be a really, really nice addition. It'd make elephants better as well, because right now you can just pour so much fire into them and it just makes them go berserk, basically on the first volley. But if you had to decide where to use them, I think that'd be really nice. And I really like the Shogun 2 style. But either way, they've done their job right. They've brought the Carthaginians back. Wow, did they lose some? I think they must have lost some elephants on the spikes. Oh man, that's brutal. But either way, they managed to fall back into the main part of the city, defending this capture point. I imagine the archers will be soon to follow it as well. Doesn't seem like there's that much cavalry left lying around. You know, normally the cavalry could maybe counterattack this, because there is only a unit of African pikemen here. But seems pretty clear for them. Now it's really up to the Syracusians to maybe come around and try and help out the Epirites. The Epirites? The Epirites? I don't know what is the right word there. Because they definitely do need some help. I mean, they are making progress, but it could be sped up a lot more. And again, you know, this is going to be such an important attack. Because right now, the Romans and Syracuse are going to be coming through like one street. And they need to get around the entire side of that final plaza if they hope to claim victory this day. Oh, you can see a pikeman going in though. That's going to be very, very deadly. pikemen being advanced in. Wonderful. It's a shame that this wasn't like the last stand in the battle, like in the map. It's just a temple. It'd be really cool if like you could fight your way up these stairs. That'd be super cool. You know, kind of like how they have in the Carthage map. Because most of the time, you know, the temple was like the high ground, so that's where a lot of people would flee to. It's where a lot of people would make their final stand. So it'd be really cool if that was kind of all the way up there instead of at the feet of the temple. The artillery is now volleying in on the Romans, loading up, using as much ammunition as they can. There's also a lot of arrow fire trained in on these poor Romans, but they are in testudo. Oh my god, look how many arrows are in the shields. I guess this is what these Romans are designed to do, but they are in few numbers, so they are getting picked off bit by bit. They're going to go ahead and obviously turn their formation, but then finally break. There's only like 10 of them left, 2 of them left now. So that's going to be it for them. The rest of the Roman formation is just biding its time, preparing itself for this assault. But yeah, as I said, like they really want to try and come around from every single side, because right now there's only one real defensive position in. They might want to send some men more around here. Come around the back would be really, really beneficial for them. We've got some cavalry coming in as well. We'll keep an eye on that. And obviously Epirus coming in. There'll be 2 ways. So they really want to try and push in as much as they can. Just stretch for defenders. This cavalry is going to be shaping up. I wonder what it's going to go in for. It seems like it's going to commit to this fight almost immediately as soon as it arrives. Oh, there's some juicy archers right there, completely undefended. And this cavalry charge is coming in. Very, very nice indeed. I think that completely caught the attackers off guard right there. I guess they are mainly focusing on their position right here. And that is going to go ahead and, you know, cost dearly. Losing these archers when you're attacking a defensive position is huge. Maybe they can still try and save this unit, but it's not looking good. The other 2 units still haven't started to flee yet either, so every second this unit stays engaged is brutal for the defenders. They finally realise and try and get out of there. More Romans coming in to lock this unit in place. Yeah, they've managed to catch this cavalry unit, but the cavalry unit could just run away. This is the Desert Legionary Cavalry as well. Not a bad engagement for losing, what, you know, 8 horses. You took down an entire unit of archers and damaged the other 2. Very, very nice indeed. I do like what the attackers are doing, though. They're kind of waiting for Epirus to finish up their battle so they can attack in one big go. I do feel like, though, they could have obviously used this time to maybe envelop around the settlement. You know, Rome definitely could have attacked from this side. I feel like Syracuse would easily have this assault right there, instead of waiting for, you know, everyone to be in position. But also, you definitely don't want to get too split. So I do understand what the attackers are trying to achieve here. They don't want to split up their entire formation, because if they do, they're just going to get picked off. You know, they're going to take the brunt of the attacking force, and then what else are they going to be able to, you know, get up to? And you know, at this point, it does seem like, you know, Athens has been beaten back. The last couple of units are now routing, allowing them to envelop the rest of the army. I imagine these guys are going to be falling back as well very, very soon. You know, maybe just defend this passageway around here. And then we're going to be up for the final assault. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead until this assault is raring to go, because I feel like we've seen kind of everything here already. And there's going to be a little bit of movement with Epirus. So let's jump ahead, and I'll bring it back to you guys when the action is ready to explode. Okay, so the chess pieces have now moved into position, and the armies are ready for their assault. You see, the Romans have brought the majority of their force round to this flank, and they're currently engaged against the 4x hoplites. The Praetorian Guard, though, pushing their way through inch by inch, and you can see the casualties are starting to rack up a little bit. Same over on this side of Epirus. They're, you know, advancing forward their pikemen and other units to engage, and they're going to be obviously facing the majority of the Carthaginian force with a large contingent, actually. We're actually going to see the Carthaginians pushing out a little bit here, which is always fun to see when they do go a little bit crazy with the sacred band. Oh, baby. It looks so good. They look really, really good. That's definitely a screenshot right there, so get ready. Oh, that looks awesome. The temple in the background as well. Come on, form up. Boom. That's what we like to see, boys. That looks amazing. I really, really like Escape Grid Bam. It's just such a cool unit. And then obviously in the center as well, we're just having a bit of a bit of hoplites up here. I think they're bringing up their artillery pieces, along with some extra missiles as well, to help us, just kind of cut through this position. The artillery, though, for the Numidians, doing some pretty disgusting damage right there. All of them finding their mark, especially that one, killing like 6-7 guys with one volley. Very, very deadly, and also disrupting their formation as well. The Romans are committing more men to this fight, or at least bringing up more men ready to push in against the Athenians. Yeah, but I think they're just here waiting to reinforce as soon as this unit goes down. You also have a unit of the Epirus cavalry. Are they going to try and break through here? I'd be very surprised if they could break through this line. Like, even by pulling through, I don't think they're going to achieve much, honestly. They're going to try and just break their way through. They're going to take heavy casualties doing this. Heavy casualties doing this. But I guess if they can get through, yeah, look at that. They're already down to like, what, 50 men? We're going to try and come up with a rear charge. The burning balls are being set ablaze. Oh, this could be so perfect. Just a little bit faster. One of them's going to engage and basically act as a cover. But honestly, that pull through was kind of disgusting how effective that worked. I mean, I guess they did lose half their unit doing it, but even still, that was a pretty disgusting rear charge coming in against the Athenians. And we got to finally see the burning bulls in all their glory. There we go. Finally, Syracuse have now advanced forward their formation. They're going to be a little bit vulnerable to the men on the hills. Obviously, you have some of the Numidian tribal slingers, which can quite easily break down here and do some serious damage. They're going to load up now their slings and fire in onto the oncoming Syracuse forces. There's a few javelins going back and forth, but yeah, honestly, these guys have such a strong position right here. And especially once they get a little bit closer in, they can obviously start hitting shots into their backs, removing that shield armor. As you can see, more and more men being brought up here. I mean, it's not like the defenders don't have like a good wealth of extra infantry. They definitely do have a lot of men. And oh my god, look how many of the slingers are taking down now. They've chipped away at the HP of the unit. They are really racking up some kills. They've obviously got a lot of ammunition left to fire. Oh, they're getting hit in there by a volley, though. I think the Syracuse archers are now turning their attention to these slingers. Another volley coming in, bringing down plenty of them. But that's not a bad unit, This is a unit of tribal slingers, so getting the ammunition being wasted on them isn't actually too bad whatsoever. Don't really know how, but somehow the cavalry were defeated there, and the Epirus is pulling back now, which I'm kind of surprised they're doing, considering the Romans are now the ones being the aggressors. And it seems like the Romans are going to be able to cut all their way through here. There's literally only a couple units. There's like a unit of artillery here, and that's it. It's a shame that this place doesn't lead down to the plaza. Like, there's like a place here that goes down into the final capture point. Oh, and there's a big old engagement here. It seems like the Athenians and the Numidians have pushed out here with their elephants. They're going to go for a big old rear charge. That is exactly why Epirus fell back. Okay, I see it now. For a second, I was really curious. Like, why the hell are they falling back when they could surround this unit and kill it? But it's because they've got elephants and cavalry and everything else on their way. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Carthaginians have a very nice reserve back here. But Syracuse have a lot of men if they can break through here. Mainly focusing on just softening up their opponents with missile fire right now. Obviously, killing these pikemen is going to be very crucial. But here we go. The elephants moving in. The cavalry maneuvering around. I don't think at this point as well any of the Romans have Peter to go and deal with these elephants. And the elephants are just sitting around, cheering. You guys should be ordering your elephants to demolish these Romans right now. Because there's no real missiles to stop you whatsoever. They've obviously been forgotten about for a moment, and there we go, finally being sent in. The Romans are going to countercharge. Unfortunately, no Pilum, though, to slow up their opponents. And yeah, these elephants are going to be able to do some good damage. Oh, this unit has a... Oh, okay, that's perfect. That's going to be elephants done then. Immediately out of control. And yeah, that's a problem with elephants in Rome too. They just kind of just die and so quickly. Like, if you can use them and use them right, then they're amazing. But it's just so hard to find the opportunity to use them because literally one volley from Romans, you know, obviously historically that's how it worked, right? If you get, you know, 120 spears thrown at you and you're an elephant, you're probably going to go a bit crazy and probably die. But yeah, gameplay wise, they just don't really run out as well. And here we go, the Numidians charging out with their noble infantry. These guys look like warrior spears. Honestly, it seems like the Numidians are like one of the best factions in the game. These guys look like warrior spears. They have Roman legionaries. They have amazing Numidian cavalry. They have a very strong roster. Surprised I haven't seen anyone, because everyone always plays Kush because they have a really good, you know, offensive army. Numidia is a very strong faction as well. The attackers are making good progress. They are, you know, taking casualties, but they have a lot of reserves. I mean, look at this. Syracuse have plenty of men still left to be thrown into this battle. The Romans obviously have their elite quadrant of forces, and they've managed to clear out this entire plaza. Unfortunately, they don't have any archers. It'd be really effective if they now had some archers they could put up on this hill. I mean, Syracuse could send them, but again, there's only like one way up to this plaza, so it's a real shame. As I said, it'd be nice if they had like another one here going up and down. Awesome artillery rounds coming in, looking to hit these pikemen. Again, that's like the main focus point. The elephants are still causing a ruckus though. 2 of them left. Oh my god, they've got 220 kills, so I guess maybe I'm a little bit mistaken. But I guess the Romans maybe ran out of Pila and couldn't finish them off. I mean, I guess being out of control isn't the worst thing, because then they trample a lot of people to death, and that's how they rack up the kills. Surely the Romans have them now, though. Yeah, there you go. The elephant's finally going down. Good charge here by the Numidians into the Roman line, and the Sacred Band has now also engaged the Roman legionaries. Their hoplite formation, though, is a bit of a mess, I'm not going to lie. And that's going to give the Romans a great time to attack. I think they've actually even broken their hoplite wall, which is obviously going to give the advantage over to the Romans. You can see more and more infantry on its way from Epirus and the Romans in the distance. Obviously, killing these units of Sacred Band is going to be very useful and effective. You know, these guys would have cost a lot of money to bring to this battle. So surrounding and taking them out is going to be, you know, invaluable to the war effort, that is for sure. We've also got the Romans, or just the unit of Epirate pikemen, making good progress against the Africans in Carthage. Same over on this side as well. It seems like Syracuse is making good progress. So this battle is definitely living up to its name. You can really see kind of an ebb and flow. One moment, the attackers are going strong, breaking through the walls. The next moment, the defenders have a very sturdy line. And then now, like the attackers, you know, they have a lot of opportunities to push through. They're making slow but, you know, decisive progress here. They've got their legatus making his way through there. There's only archers really defending this back position. Oh, the Epirus boat as well. One managed to win that engagement, which is kind of funny. Also a catapult though. Yeah, you know, send some men around here. You know, kill these archers, rear charge some positions. Obviously, the Sacred Band is going to be holding its own for some time. But, you know, for the most part, this battle could literally go either way. And you can see, you can tell by the balance of power down here as well. Very even right now. Legatus, I think, seizing upon that opponent. Maybe he's just going to go around the side here and hit the Sacred Band in the back. Or he's going to go after the archers. Going after the archers would be kind of scary because you could obviously get shot and you'd lose one on the charge. But you would definitely break them on that charge. It does seem like they're just going to go back, maybe? No, it seems like they're going to try and make their way over here. the Numidian cavalry. No, yeah, sorry, the Syracuse mercenary cavalry's come around. Okay, this is where it gets a bit deadly. They've got mercenary companion cavalry. Oh, they've engaged the Numidian general there as well. But this is where it gets a little bit scary because, you know, this cavalry could do so much and it's already coming in and having a huge impact on this battle, breaking the Athenian hoplites. It's going to go and just free up so much infantry, and obviously they can make their way around here. They can push their way into this archer position. I'm surprised the Athenians haven't committed these archers, like these pikemen around there. Another brutal charge there into the back of the Carthaginian sacred band, and the Athenians pushing them onto the pikes, and the pikes are now pushing forward looking for blood with the support of the Syracuse cavalry. The Romans covering their back, making sure they don't get enveloped. And the Sacred Band are close to breaking a beautiful rear charge. This cavalry is being used very, very effectively as both sides pop a rally. Here you can see death and dishonor coming in to the Carthaginian Sacred Band if they don't stick around and fight. And there you go, the Athenians are now moving their pikemen down here. Very, very smart move. However, these pikemen units are pretty depleted. They're down to 9 men in that unit, 108 in the other, just the archer fire from Syracuse, as the meat grinder continues. But they've made really good progress over here, clearing out the first line of defense, and they're now making their way forward. But you can see the balance of power is still staying even. Both sides are going blow for blow in this engagement. The Sige now lays to them in this fight to hold the battle line. The infantry for Syracuse must be exhausted at this point. They're very tired. Going up against fresher infantry is obviously going to pay a bigger dividends for them. And, you know, for all the credit, the Sacred Band are still holding and actually pushing forward. You know, they've managed to open up a decent amount of defenses here, but now there's no real protection for the rest of the units. You can see they're rushing, but the cavalry is going to come in and rear charge into the back of the Sacred Band. The Romans are going to push on them whilst they're disorganized, and just try and kill as many of them as possible here. You know, this is what I'm saying, like, as soon as you bring away infantry, it leaves gaps, and once again, the cavalry comes into her back, hitting a lot of them on the ground. But they're living up to their name for sure. They are holding strong and doing a ton of damage. Pikemen moving in as well, cavalry causing efforts. Raise your banners being popped off to help boost some stats there. Not too bad whatsoever for them, and yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like the attackers are slowly gaining the upper hand because they're red, right? No, they're yellow. Yeah, so the defenders are actually gaining an upper hand, but yeah, because they're red and they're yellow, so the defenders are gaining the upper hand, but looks for balance of power. But I mean, I guess the Romans don't really have much left, right? And there's still 2 units of pikemen. Syracuse is kind of what's really, you know, holding up their balance of power bar. But even them, you know, with their exhausted units, are going to be struggling. Yeah, I guess there is a lot left for the defenders still. You could break the Sacred Band. I think that would obviously just, you know, help them out a lot. But they're having a hard time doing it. This Sacred Band is causing such an issue for the defenders. I mean, they've kept them at bay for so long now, and it seems like it's only going to be, you know, longer and longer as they continue to fight on. Well, the Praetorian Guard are, with the help of the Syracuse cavalry, are breaking through and finally making progress. And that's going to free up a decent amount of their units, you know. That's going to free up 2 more units of Praetorian Guard to be thrown into the battle. I mean, the pikemen are making good progress, but they are fighting more of the Athenian pikemen. These pikemen are up to 213 kills, which is not bad whatsoever. They're still, they've only lost a quarter or a third of their unit as well. And they're going to continue to break through here. They were obviously getting the upper hand against the Athenian pikemen. And now they can just basically completely dominate this position. Honestly, if I was the Carthaginians, I would probably fall back and allow the pikemen like fall back and form like a square here. So if a pikeman wanted to come in, you could hit them from multiple sides. That would obviously leave yourself vulnerable to these Romans from them, you know, coming in and covering that and opening up more of a choke point. But it's definitely a decent strategy. Pikeman engagements over here, and it seems like Epirus have the push in this battle, and they're demolishing. Oh my god, they're demolishing the Athenian pikemen. They are dropping like flies in this battle. And that's going to open up a big position right here. Yeah, the Athenians, I mean, the Epirus can come in now, and the rest of the cavalry can also push in now. I think this must be the other way around, right? I don't see how the defenders have the advantage here. The attackers have a lot of men left, but... So it must be the other way around, even though it looks like it's not. Must be. Pikemen being brought over, but this unit needs to be very careful. You know, the picked hoplites of the Athenians, as elite of it as they are, they can't really break a pike wall. They're going to go in for it nonetheless. The pikes are going to go down. And you can see the hoplite wall is just, you know, kept down. And they're going to be kept at bay. A bunch of them do break through, though, and do a pretty nice job. The Carthaginians are still fighting on. It seems that the Athenian pikemen have kind of done a little bit better now, as they get brought up a little bit. I mean, this unit is running very low. A lot of the Romans are breaking through. You've got the cavalry coming around as well. And yeah, that's going to go ahead and give the order for the picked hoplites to retreat back here. The Epirus units are, though, going to be pursuing them, trying to catch a few of these, you know, lost soldiers who are currently fleeing. So they're going to take some casualties by trying to withdraw, but that's obviously to be expected. And they're just going to charge in. Oh, this is not that great, right? Obviously, their pikes aren't down. They're fighting swords and shields. They need to be very careful there, but I mean, there's no real, like, you know, they just obviously want to push up. So we're going to get some cavalry coming in over on this side. I imagine cavalry coming in for that side. The Carthaginians are surrounded, and this must be the other way around the balance of power bar. Because having the cavalry around here, they just have so much more. They're actually capturing the center flag as well. The pikemen are trying to form up into this position as quickly as possible. They might just about get their pikes down, they do. But is it going to be enough? Oh, that was brutal. Some of the horses coming down, but you know, the thinness of the formation is going to allow the cavalry to come in and obviously hit the rear of these defenders. And that's obviously going to be a big morale shock. Obviously, these units are going to be getting taken down by the pikemen, but the majority of the unit has managed to do its job. Roman legatus also helping out the mercenary companion horses, getting stuck in there against the Athenian general. Down to 92 men now. Needs to be careful not to be trapped in here, though, by the picked hoplites. And I think, you know, this battle is coming up to its peak right now. It seems like the attackers have got the footing now, and they can just drive it home. And there's not really much the Carthaginians and the Athenians can do. But I mean, saying that, they still are holding, you know. Maybe, no, I just feel like the Syracuse have so much left. They, you know, as soon as this unit breaks, this unit of mercenary Cretan archers, that's going to just open up so much space for them just to come flying through and, you know, use their weight of numbers. So we can only expect the battle is coming to a close now. Especially with the Athenian general down to 30 odd men. The cavalry is still causing a nuisance. These Carthaginians, though, are still holding. The mercenary noble fighters, that's obviously why. They're obviously extremely strong Spanish mercenaries. The Scutarii coming in and doing some serious damage, and even taking on Praetorian Guard, obviously with their weight of numbers. So they've actually managed to clear out this position, so they can actually turn around and try and reinforce. I mean, it's a little bit too late. They definitely can. This mercenary cavalry needs to come in and hit this unit of Cretan archers as well. But I think that's going to basically be the battle. We can go on a little bit faster now, just to speed things up, because I think the battle is very much over, and it's just going to be like the last stand of the hoplites. So GG indeed. I think that battle definitely did stand up to the quote that I was given, that this was an extremely close one. Definitely did turn out to be so. I was really, after the initial assault, I was expecting the defenders to have, you know, to actually manage to pull this one off, but Syracuse just had so many men left towards the end that it was very difficult for them to actually achieve that. And now the battle is going to come to a close with one more rear charge in there. So yeah, a very costly battle indeed, but a very, very good one. So a big shout out to all these players for engaging in this battle. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you guys very much for sending that in. If you do get any more, please feel free to send them my way. I'm also looking for Divide et Impera multiplayer battles. So if you have a group of friends and you want to play a Divide et Impera battle, then please send it in to me. I'm yeah, definitely looking for more of them. Even though the game's not made for multiplayer, it'd still be cool to have some battles nonetheless. So you can see the War Elephant's doing good, 200 kills, pretty nice there for the Numidian armies. The Athenians doing very decent as well, 100 kills, 160 kills on their swordsmen. And again, the Carthaginian general only 100 kills, unfortunately. The Sacred Band, as you know, they didn't get as many kills, but they held like gods. They were very, very strong. Over on the other side, you've got, you know, decent kills on the picked hoplites. Obviously, the Romans, the Praetorian Guard with 230. And then finally, the Epirus armies getting a nice amount of kills on their pikemen for sure. So if you guys enjoy this battle, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.